Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is nikymus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you're new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the veil. The veil. It has been inspired by a comment I've received lately, and I think I've been receiving these comments every now and then over time, over the last couple of years on this channel. Okay, so some people come, I talk about something usually very important, like you guys already know. This is an enlightenment channel. And somebody comes and says, oh, you know, the Bible said this, or Jesus said that, or culture is like this, or your voice is not clear, or there's wind in your video, or there is always something to, I don't know, it's a complaint or dissatisfaction or some sorts. So usually it's okay to eventually, you know, to have like some kind of, you know, positive criticism and everything. But I also understand the energy that is usually surrounding certain individuals when it comes to, you know, enlightenment, you know, and growth and personal development. Now, this is something like an illusion. This is something which is usually hiding you from the truth, okay? It's like a cloak, something, you know, covered over your face. And that is number one. And secondly, you may sometimes not be ready for certain content, okay? So because this is an enlightenment channel, it is a channel that usually talks about things most likely you've not heard before or you've not heard anywhere else. So sometimes there's individuals who are not ready for this kind of content. Energetically, somebody's veil could be a lie that they have been fed over the years, maybe from their schools, from their homes, parents, or from their churches, whatever. It could be something that it could be some kind of an illusion or a lie that you've been fed over time. And that lie has actually overtaken your consciousness, or I could say clogged your consciousness, someone's consciousness, and they are not actually ready to receive specific information. Obviously, we know that English is not my first language. Of course, I studied English in schools and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still not my first language. So sometimes I struggle a little bit with grammar, maybe sometimes with vocabulary. For the most of you guys who are following me, you know that I'm not an English guy, okay? So English is my second language, but at the same time, I still try to deliver in English because I usually want these messages to, I could as well deliver messages or videos in my mother tongue. But I know that actually when I do that, there is very many people who will miss that message. So there will be millions of people actually who will not actually get the message. So that's the reason as to why I chose, because I can, to deliver in English. It may not be perfect, of course. I keep on working on this content every day. I keep on improving, of course, every single day. I add in some other things, you know. I learn some more, I educate myself more to see that I can actually improve on my deliverance. And I think we have gotten somewhere, at least. Because I don't think that if I was talking nonsense, or if I was talking about things that I do not know, I would have gained over 12,000 subscribers. So that means that actually there's still people who get it. So there is people who bypass, the grammar problems or the vocabulary, of course, the accent and everything. My accent is different. You guys already know. And they still pick up a lot of things. And we have actually got results because there is things that have actually helped a lot of people on their journey of, awakening, development, evolution, and growth. But I still understand that sometimes, for some reason, the universe may deliver this kind of messages or this kind of videos to people who are not there yet. Okay, so they are on a very low frequency, and their consciousness is still switched off. So you see, I had a problem back in the days. I remember helping a family member. I've told you guys, and I was trying to help that family member overcome narcissistic abuse. This family member was, until this moment, is dealing with a narcissist, of course. And this person has very, very deep, has got their claws very deep in a family member's skin. And they cannot get away. So I was helping a family member back in the days. And instead of listening closely to what I'm saying, or sometimes having to maybe, I wasn't seeking for validation, but I wanted them to listen to what I was saying because I knew what I was talking about eventually. I was talking about narcissism. I knew who was a narcissist. But these family members, I realized that actually I was talking to a rock, okay? So they were not listening. And sometimes I remember they actually thought I was a little bit overstepping into their relationship and everything. So what I did, actually, I walked away from that engagement and I let this family member deal with their own crap. So you see, when we're talking about the veil, somebody's veil could be the ego. It could be ego. Somebody might have ego problems, ego issues. It could be trauma. It could be self-esteem. It could be a person who actually is on a certain frequency and they still have their consciousness switched off. So this veil, this kind of veil, so when I'm talking about the veil, it's a spiritual subject. So a lot of you guys may actually kind of get what I'm talking about. It's not something like somebody comes and covers a cloth over your head or something. It is a spiritual blockage where a person is not ready to receive some content because at that moment their ego, they're very high in their ego, and their ego cannot allow them to digest certain messages. So when the universe pops these kind of videos on their, on their page and everything, on their phones, something just overshadows them and overcovers their consciousness, and they're like, what is this person talking about? Or maybe they're lying, or what kind of books they're reading, or those kind of stuff. So they always find something like to complain about. There is something small to complain about. So most of the times there's a very, very powerful message for them, because I don't believe the universe delivers these kind of messages to somebody for no apparent reason. These kind of messages will always come, and these kind of videos will show up on somebody's screen because there's somebody who is actually a little bit more enlightened than them probably, and there is something they know that that person doesn't know, and the universe wants them to receive a particular message. It can be anything. Like, for example, in this video I've told you, we talk about narcissism, we talk about spirituality, personal development, growth. So these are very pregnant subjects to talk about, you know what I mean? So when you digest these kind of messages, there's information that can actually move a person to the next level. But sometimes there's a lot of people around the world as well that are unawakened, So this kind of content, like you guys know, when you start talking about spiritual subjects and everything, these kind of subjects can usually resonate. Is why always I say in my videos, if it resonates, you can like, maybe share or subscribe or whatever, I tell you if it resonates, but there's times when sometimes the universe is trying to catch somebody's attention. They could be dealing with the situation, and the universe brings these kind of videos to their feeds. And the universe wants them to learn something very, very important about their lives. Even sometimes to look around them. There could be a problem around them that they're not even aware of, And instead of them receiving those kind of messages, so for them, they will just look around the quality of the camera. So they'll look around the grammar I'm using, or the language I'm using, or, my accent. And they'll always find something to to cling on. Oh, I cannot hear your videos because, there is a wind, or you don't speak like an American, or the Bible told us this, the pastor told us that. So they find different types of excuses to skip these kind of messages. And I don't really blame them, because I understand that we are all at different frequencies. I remember back in the days when I was trying to learn about narcissism, these videos used to come. I used to see these videos. Some videos used to pop up in that time about narcissistic abuse. So somebody was talking about narcissist. And I was like, what is this person talking about? I saw these videos on my screen. I tried to click on the videos. Then the person started talking. Then I was like, I actually don't understand what this person is talking about. So sometimes I would just remove the videos and I just carry on with my life. But actually, in real sense, I was dealing with a narcissist. So my spirit team, angel guides or God or universe or whatever source, was trying to get my attention that, oh, listen, Denzomas, there is a problem around you. Maybe you have not yet seen it. You're not yet on that level, but there's a message that you need to see. There's a video. So the universe will send me these videos to actually receive particular information in those videos. But believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this thing took like about 3 months. The videos would show up and I would just remove the videos. What is talking about? Narcissism? What is the sociopath? What is this? I wouldn't understand NPD. So these were terms that I was not ready for. I was not ready for in that time. I was not ready to hear, because in that time, like I've said, I wasn't yet awakened. So I still had a veil that was over my consciousness. And that ego couldn't allow me to receive specific information. So it's the same thing which is happening today. Now I'm enlightened, I'm awakened and I'm enlightened eventually. I'm a certain level of my growth and development. And I've learned so many things on this journey, which I'm trying to teach a lot of people around the world. But if you're a person who is trying to run away from the truth, because you see, that veil, it kinds of pushes you or forces you to flee, to run away from the truth. So instead of listening to what this guy is saying, what is this man saying? Who is Denzomas in the first place? So for you to be able to understand who is Denzomas, it may be requiring you to actually go back a little bit, a couple of years back in my videos, to understand actually where am I coming from, okay? So because the only way you can understand this kind of content is by going back in someone's journey. That's why you understand where they have started and what has motivated them to do what they are doing, okay? So to give you this kind of enlightenment. So a lot of people, they are switched off. Their consciousness is still switched off. They are very deep within their ego. They are unawakened. They're not enlightened. They don't know nothing. The only thing they know is this 3D stuff, the regular physical stuff that they see on a regular basis and they do on a regular basis. So they don't see what is actually behind the veil. That is because they still have a veil that is actually overshadowed or covered their consciousness. So they are not tapped in, okay? So a lot of times, for all of you guys who are awakened, you're going to meet, is what sometimes I've called it resistance. Usually you're going to meet a lot of resistance. You might see family members, for example, you guys who are the black sheep of your families. You could meet sometimes family members, you could come across some family members, friends, old friends, and there's things you're talking about. And they think you're crazy, what is this person talking about? So instead of them understanding what you're saying, they're going to drag you back into lower frequencies, into low frequency conversations and stuff. So you're talking about high frequency stuff, they're always going to drag you back and put you back in low frequency stuff, because that's the only thing they understand. It is their level of understanding, and it is their level of awareness at that moment, which is actually not a problem because we have all been there. But when I talk about the veil, this video is actually for the people who are usually always trying to find a reason to complain about something, And sometimes they're actually complaining about things that they do not know, they do not understand. Instead of asking sometimes, what does this mean or what does that mean? They always find a reason. Or you position your camera the other way, or you're not looking in the camera, or you're saying something different. Your grammar is something wrong with your grammar. There's a vocabulary. So I remember somebody telling me that I was not an American, so I couldn't speak, the American English that they understand. But at the end of the day, they were complaining about a video which had actually more than 10,000 views, even more sometimes. A video that had been watched and many people on that video actually understood. So when there's always a part of you that doesn't understand something, be patient. It may take you a while. It may sometimes, I've seen sometimes videos that I've made and people have watched those videos 2, 3, even sometimes 4, 5 times. Because they're like, okay, maybe I didn't understand the first time. Let me try it again. So they play it again. They see it the third time, they see it the fourth time. Then actually eventually everything matches and everything clicks. So the veil is very dangerous, and a very big population of the masses, many people around the world, they have got a veil over their consciousness. So they are at a low frequency, okay? They are switched off, they are bots, which is not even the right word to say, but I'll use it the way it is. They are bots. So they are not really, they're not there yet. And it is taking them a lot of time to understand some things. So this whole thing takes patience. The veil is stopping you from getting the truth, getting enlightened, acquiring certain type of wisdom, acquiring certain type of knowledge. Some people don't want to see a person like me telling them some stuff that they think shouldn't come from me. So they expect, somebody to come around and wear suits or, with the different types of design and, environment around them and, kind of like, and then those are the guys they want them to deliver those kind of messages. Enlightenment has nothing to do with character, religion, personality, skin color, ethnic group, or something like that. Enlightenment can come from anyone. Enlightenment can come from the old woman next door, the person from the shop, a guy who's walking in the forest, in the park. They may be sometimes teaching you things that are very powerful, very powerful information. They're delivering very powerful content. But when there's a veil over someone's head, that veil will always stop them from getting the actual messages that are in those kind of content or videos or whatever. So they will always, find them complaining. Those are the guys you see all the time complaining on these YouTube channels. Some of them I understand they could be narcissists, even sometimes unaware narcissists that are thinking that, oh, what is this guy talking about? This guy is the narcissist. I've got some comments like that before. Oh, you are the narcissist. Look at this one, another narcissist, and things like that. Especially in the early days of my journey. They no longer come around often these days, but I used to get those kind of things. Oh, he's a narcissist. How do you know this and how do you know that? So those are the kind of guys that actually have issues that they really need to deal with, okay? So sometimes instead of looking at the energy outside of you and starting to complain about everything, maybe sometimes it's important for you to look within yourself. There could be a problem that you're not seeing, okay? There could be a person who is helping you. Most of the times these videos were helping people. Sometimes even we're doing it for free, because it doesn't really mean that if I'm doing videos, I'm earning a lot from this YouTube and everything. Of course, I get some money eventually, but it is not that I'm doing it for the money, okay? I'm doing it actually to help people. But some people are not ready to be helped, okay? So there are some people, they are bots, they are still sleeping, they're not ready to wake up. And sometimes the universe is forcing them to see some things, they're not ready for it. So instead of them understanding these messages and getting enlightened, they eventually start complaining about every small thing in those videos. So, ladies and gentlemen, be aware that it is only an awakened person that is able to look behind the veil. They are able to see the illusion for what it is. They are the ones able to understand what is going on around them. And sometimes, most of the cases, they're even using this information to help other individuals, which some of them are not ready to receive these messages. So don't let the veil, your ego, your trauma, your sicknesses, your problems, your situations, whatever it is you're going through, don't let it hide you from the truth. There's the truth or some kind of enlightenment that is usually trying to penetrate your consciousness. Of course, it may take a while. It could take you a month. It may take you 3 months. I know some people who have been watching my videos before back in the days, and they couldn't understand me. They just used to watch anyway. They watched, okay, what's this guy saying? They watched, they clicked off. They watched, they clicked off. And then eventually after like 6 months, 7 months, another video popped up, and this time they could get it. So it takes a while for you to get the things that I'm talking about, especially for the guys who are unawakened. So be patient with yourself. When the time comes, the message will actually pop into your head and you'll really understand what I'm talking about. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, you know that you can always be yourself. You can always speak your truth, especially this channel. I told you guys, every time I start my videos, I told you this is the channel of truth. So when you hear me talking about the truth, you best believe I'm telling you the truth. The naked truth exactly the way it is. And sometimes the messages are very intense, and the information is very intense for some people. I've seen it along my journey. Families and friends, they couldn't handle this kind of messages and truth. So don't let the veil stop you from getting the information that you need to help you along your journey. So you guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.